Hi everyone, Vince with Boomer Electronics here. Today I have a Model 1 Sega CD that a customer sent in for repair. So yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into it. The customer did include a power supply when they sent the console, so I may as well go ahead and check this first. This is the OEM Sega power supply. So plug it in and measure the voltage. The all versions of the Sega CD use center pin negative polarity. So go ahead and stick your black probe in the center here, red probe on the outside metal portion, and as you can see, we're measuring 13.45 volts. This is an unregulated power supply, so we should get quite a bit above the 9 or 10 volts that it's rated. So that looks fine, shouldn't have any issues with the power supply. So now I'll go ahead and plug in the Sega CD and see what it's doing. Okay, got the Sega CD set up here, so let's power on the Genesis and see what happens. Okay, black screen, so it looks like we're not getting any light from the Sega CD there. Just verifying it is plugged in back there. Yep, looking like no signs of life whatsoever. Just to verify there's no issues with the power supply, I'm going to plug in a different one off camera here real quick. Yeah, changing the power supply didn't do anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and open this up and see what's going on. Okay, so I did notice this while I was disassembling it, but this ribbon is definitely damaged. Looks like it might not have gone through the trace here though, so I'll just go ahead and check that with my multimeter real quick. This probably isn't the issue though. Yeah, it's on this side. Yeah, so we still have continuity there. So even though it's a little bit damaged there, it's not the problem. So I'll continue taking this apart. I do find this a bit interesting. It looks like this capacitor leg, the pad's ripped off here and it's just soldered directly to this trace. Knowing Sega, that might have been done at the factory, but it's interesting nonetheless. However, I am not seeing much evidence of capacitor electrolytic leakage. I mean, this is just weird. Like right here, it's a pretty large blob of solder on this capacitor leg here. Interesting. I'm kind of wondering if someone's already recapped this. These two pins here are bridged on this chip. That's probably normal, but it does look a bit odd because those are definitely going to different lines there. Also, this is a bit melted here. So, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking someone else might have actually worked on this already, which is not what I was led to believe based on the exchange I had with the customer. So I think I might look up images online and see if I can determine if these capacitors are factory or not. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do right now off camera. Looking at some photos online, I'm pretty certain that someone's already recapped this. I mean, there's other evidence, just it's a pretty poor job soldering a lot of these capacitors in general. I'm pretty sure this wouldn't have left the factory looking like this. So yeah, I'm thinking that we basically have an issue with a tracer line being broken, something along those lines. So yeah, with that in mind, I'm going to basically just start doing continuity checks through here and seeing if I can find the problem, starting with the power board here. I was going through checking the traces and everything. Traces seem like they're all connected. Taking a look here, it does look like the polarity on this capacitor is incorrect. Unless the silk screen itself is incorrect. I mean, I can check that, but yeah, I'm 99.9% certain someone's already at least attempted to recap this thing. I'm a little puzzled as to why the customer did not mention that. Pretty tempted to just send this back and not work on it because for some reason the customer is being dishonest with me. So I think I'm going to actually message the customer and kind of see if I can get a little more information on this, a little more background. So that's what I'm going to do now. Well, as you can see, it's working. I figured I'd work on it a little bit while I was waiting for the customer to get back to me. All I did was flip around that capacitor that was installed incorrectly, and I cleaned the connector that goes to this guy right here, so the board connector, because it was pretty dirty. So I just cleaned that, swapped that capacitor, and it looks like it's working. So that might be the only thing this needs. This is a little bit annoying because I quoted the customer for a full recap based on the symptoms they told me. They apparently failed to mention that the console's been recapped, minus the CD drive, but that probably doesn't really matter. So yeah, a little bit annoying with this. So I'm just waiting for the customer to get back to me. I'll test this a little bit more and see if there's any other issues. They did mention that the drive gets stuck, so it probably needs a new belt. So I probably am gonna have to address that. But outside of that, looks like they had a capacitor installed backwards, and they needed to clean the one of the connectors off a little bit. So yeah, I'll go ahead and test this a bit more off camera. Yeah, I'm not even sure if this uses a drive belt. I'm really not familiar with the Model 1 Sega CDs. But I hit reset, like it tells me to open the drive. It opens no problem. Kind of thinking this is gear driven based on how it's acting. So I don't know why they mentioned that the drive's getting stuck. It doesn't. Seems like it's working great. Interesting. Well, I might take a look at it. If there's a band on there, I might just clean it off. Call this good. I'll go ahead and pause the video and put a disc in and make sure it's reading discs. Yeah, so I was checking for a belt, and yeah, there is a belt. In fact, there are two belts. I feel like someone's messing with me almost. This just seems ridiculous. So I went ahead and cleaned the laser off. I guess I'll reassemble it and see if it's reading discs now. Well, I cleaned the laser. It's not reading my Sonic CD copy, but it is reading the Jurassic Park disc alright. So, yeah, it's probably good enough. I did notice here, though, that the save battery's dead. Go figure. So I'll let the customer know about that. I still don't think they've gone back to me. I think it's fairly obvious what happened, though. I talked to them a while back, and I ended up telling them they probably needed their capacitors replaced and a new drive belt. So then I didn't hear back from them for a few weeks, and they said, yeah, they're ready to do the service or whatever. So I think what happened is they basically got me to diagnose the system for them for free. They went ahead and tried to fix it themselves, ran into a problem, which turned out to be a capacitor that was installed backwards and a dirty board slot. Pretty simple things to correct, but yeah, they ended up sending it to me and didn't mention that they did any work on it. Also explains why there's a second drive belt in there. I guess they just threw another one in and hope for the best, and which does look like that fixed the problem. But yeah, just pretty disrespectful in my opinion to do something like that, to try to waste my time like that. Yeah, basically just try to get a free diagnosis out of me. This is one of the reasons I try to be a bit stingy with information I give people, because yeah, sometimes they try to pull crap like this. And you know, there's all the times where maybe I gave someone a little too much info, then I just never heard back from them. This is one of the cases where I probably gave them the correct info to fix their console, but they messed it up and realized, oh crap, let's talk to that guy. He's going to have to fix this for us. But yeah, it looks like it is more or less fully functioning. I'm just going to let the customer know about the save battery issue and give them a quote to get that fixed. And yeah, guess I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, hope this is helpful for you. Hope you learned something, and take care.